The sudden and unexpected death of Pope Francis has shaken the very foundation of the Catholic Church. But is there more to this than what meets the eye? What if his death isn't just a tragic moment in history, but the fulfillment of a millennia-old prophecy? What if this event marks the beginning of the end of the world, as predicted by the mysterious Nostradamus himself? Nostradamus, a figure draped in shadows and enigma, foretold the rise of the Black Pope, a pivotal figure who would usher in the final days of mankind. This chilling prophecy, dismissed by many as mere superstition, now takes on a terrifying, new meaning. Could the death of Pope Francis, the first Latin American pontiff, signal the arrival of the prophecy? And more importantly, could this be the beginning of a chain of events that will unravel humanity as we know it? In this video, we're going to explore the eerie details surrounding the death of Pope Francis and how they might just align with one of Nostradamus's darkest predictions. Brace yourselves, because what we are about to discuss will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about the future. On April 21, 2025, the world received a shock as the Vatican confirmed the death of Pope Francis. The announcement came at precisely 7:35 a.m., an hour that, in hindsight, seems strangely symbolic. Pope Francis, often hailed as the voice of the poor, had spent years battling against the deeply ingrained conservatism within the Church. He was not just a religious leader, but a reformer, a man who tried to make the Vatican more inclusive, more human. And yet, his death left many questions unanswered. The timing itself is troubling. The Pope passed away just hours after delivering a powerful Easter blessing, his final public appearance. He had recently been hospitalized for pneumonia, and although his death was officially attributed to a cerebral hemorrhage, the circumstances surrounding his passing seemed too surreal, too coincidental. Why did he die right after Easter? Could this be part of a grander design, a ritualistic moment in the end times? But here's where it gets even more chilling. Nostradamus foretold the arrival of the Black Pope, a figure who would rise to power after the death of a revered, aging pontiff. The strange timing of Pope Francis's death, right after Easter, at a time when the Church is still grappling with modernity, feels like a dark omen. Nostradamus's quatrains are notoriously cryptic, often shrouded in metaphor and symbolism. But among the most terrifying of his prophecies is one that describes the rise of a Black Pope. This figure is said to emerge after the death of an elderly pontiff, marking the beginning of the end of the world. What does the term Black Pope really mean? Many have speculated that it refers to a pope who comes from Africa, given the increasing influence of African cardinals in the Vatican. But there's a deeper, more disturbing interpretation. Some believe that the Black Pope is not just a racial reference, but rather a figure tied to the Jesuit order, an order that has long been associated with secrecy, power, and hidden agendas. Could Pope Francis himself have been the Black Pope, not by his race, but by his affiliation with the Jesuits? This theory gains traction when we consider his background. The Jesuits, often referred to as the Black Robes due to their dark vestments, have historically held significant influence within the Catholic Church. But if Pope Francis was indeed the Black Pope, what does his death signal? According to Nostradamus, his passing would pave the way for an even darker figure, someone who will take control of the Vatican and steer the world towards chaos and destruction. Michel de Nostradam, known to us as Nostradamus, was a 16th century physician and astrologer whose prophetic writings have intrigued and terrified people for centuries. His book, Les Prophéties, published in 1555, contains over 900 quatrains that describe events to come, events that seem to eerily align with modern history. One particular quatrain has stood out to researchers and conspiracy theorists alike. Nostradamus wrote of a future pope described as a foreigner, old and of dark skin. While some interpret the dark skin as a literal reference to race, others believe it refers to the Jesuit Pope, a leader whose path would align with global destruction. The death of Pope Francis fits eerily into this pattern. He was an elderly pope, often seen as the last reformer before the Church faces its greatest trials. But what happens next? Who will emerge to lead the Church through these apocalyptic times? The prophecy points to a new pope, a black pope, someone who will challenge the very foundations of the Vatican. The looming question now is, will this prophecy be fulfilled in the next papal conclave? Will the next pope be a cardinal from Africa, or will they be a Jesuit like Francis? The signs are beginning to line up. Nostradamus isn't the only prophet who has spoken of the Church's final days. There is another, much older prophecy, the prophecy of the popes, attributed to Saint Malachy, an Irish bishop who allegedly foresaw the names and characteristics of all future popes, ending with a final pope who would lead the Church into a time of great tribulation. According to Malachy's prophecy, Pope Francis would be the penultimate pope. The final pope, known as Petrus Romanus, or Peter the Roman, would guide the Church through apocalyptic upheavals before the final judgment. The next pope, if they truly are the last, is said to be someone who will experience great tribulations, leading the Church during times of war, famine, and societal collapse. The question remains, could this be the moment that propels humanity into a new dark age? The signs are all around us. The world is in turmoil, and the Church seems to be at a crossroads. Could the next pope be Petrus Romanus, fulfilling the prophecy in its most terrifying sense? The death of Pope Francis isn't just an isolated event. It's a symbol, a harbinger of what is to come. The papacy is entering a new era, one that may very well lead to the unraveling of the Church and the world itself. Nostradamus's prophecy, along with the chilling words of Saint Malachy, point to the possibility that we are standing at the precipice of something catastrophic. Could the Black Pope truly be the figure who will bring about the end times? Will the next pope be a man of power, someone with ties to ancient orders who will push the Church into uncharted waters? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain. The death of Pope Francis has sparked a wave of theories and suspicions that refuse to die. As the Vatican prepares for a new era, we are left to wonder, what does the future hold for the Church and for the world? Is the end truly near? What we've uncovered today is more than just a story of prophecy and religion. It's a warning. A warning about the forces that are quietly shaping our future. From Nostradamus to Saint Malachy, these ancient predictions were not written to be dismissed. They were meant to be a guide to understanding the hidden currents of history. As we stand on the edge of a new era, we must ask ourselves, are we prepared for what's coming? Is the Black Pope just a metaphor for the dark times ahead? Will the next Pope be the final one to lead us through the coming storm? This is not just the story of one man's death. It's the story of a global shift that could change everything. I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you believe the prophecies are coming true? Are we nearing the end of days? If you found this video unsettling, remember to like, subscribe, and share. The truth is closer than we think. Stay vigilant. The future is watching.